Do you ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall when you try to give advice to your adult children? You pour your heart out, share your life experience, and what do you get in return? A nod, a distracted huh, or maybe even an eye roll. It's frustrating, right? You raised them, you guided them, but now it seems like your words just don't carry the same weight. You might be wondering, where did I go wrong? Why don't they listen to me anymore? Well, if you're feeling this way, I want you to know you're not alone. This is an incredibly common dynamic between parents and their grown-up kids. And it's not necessarily because they don't love you or respect you. The reasons are often much more complex and have a lot to do with the natural evolution of your relationship. Today, we're going to dive deep into the 5 main reasons why your adult children might not be listening, and more importantly, what you can do to rebuild that connection and have your voice heard again. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about understanding and adapting. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a brand new perspective and some practical tools to transform your communication. The first, and possibly biggest, reason is their need for autonomy. Think back to when you were in your 20s or 30s. You were carving out your own path, making your own decisions, and yes, probably making your own mistakes. It was a crucial part of becoming the person you are today. Your adult children are in that exact same phase. They are trying to establish their independence and prove to themselves and to the world that they can handle their own lives. When you offer unsolicited advice, even with the best intentions, it can feel like you're questioning their competence. It can sound like, you can't do this without my help. This can trigger a defensive reaction, not because your advice is bad, but because it challenges their sense of self-sufficiency. They need the space to try things their way, to succeed on their own terms, and even to fail and learn from it. That process of trial and error is fundamental to building self-confidence. So when they seem to be ignoring you, it might just be their way of saying, I need to do this myself. The second reason is a simple, yet powerful one. The communication style is off. The parent-child dynamic you had when they were 5, or even 15, just doesn't work anymore. Back then, your role was to instruct, guide, and set rules. It was a top-down relationship. But now, they are your peers. They're adults, just like you. Continuing to use a directive or authoritative tone can feel condescending to them. Phrases like you should, or what you need to do is, can immediately put them on the defensive. They're no longer looking for a manager. They're looking for a mentor, a sounding board, a trusted friend. The most effective communication with adult children is a two-way street. It involves more listening than talking, more asking than telling. Instead of you should buy this house, try what are your thoughts on the housing market? What are you looking for in a home? This shifts the conversation from a lecture to a collaborative discussion. It shows that you respect their opinion and trust their judgment, which makes them far more likely to actually open up and value what you have to say. Reason number 3 is what I call past baggage. Our history with our children is long and complex. Throughout their upbringing, there were likely moments of conflict, misunderstanding, or times when they felt unheard or criticized. Even if those moments seem small to you now, they can leave a lasting impression. Your adult child might have a learned pattern of tuning you out because, in the past, they felt that disagreeing with you led to an argument or that their perspective wasn't valued. They might anticipate criticism before you even start talking. So, when you bring up a sensitive topic like their career, finances, or relationships, their old defenses might kick in automatically. They brace themselves for a lecture or judgment, and their listening ears switch off as a form of self-protection. It's not about the current conversation. It's about the cumulative effect of all the conversations that came before. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to breaking it. It requires building a new track record of positive, non-judgmental interactions to overwrite the old one. The fourth reason is a difference in values and life experience. The world your children are navigating is vastly different from the one you grew up in. Think about it: technology, the economy, social norms, career paths, everything has changed dramatically. Your tried and true advice, which was golden in your day, might not be applicable anymore. For example, the advice to get a safe job and stay there for 40 years might sound completely alien to a generation that values flexibility, passion projects, and the gig economy. Your perspective on marriage, homeownership, or parenting might be based on a completely different set of societal expectations. When your children don't listen, it's not always out of defiance. Sometimes it's because your advice genuinely doesn't align with their reality or their values. They are crafting a life that makes sense for their time and their personal goals, which might look very different from the life you envisioned for them. The key here is to approach them with curiosity, not judgment. Try to understand their world before you try to advise them on how to live in it. And finally, the fifth reason: you're giving too much advice. It's a classic case of compassion fatigue, but for advice. If every conversation is an opportunity for a teachable moment, they're going to get tired of it. Imagine if your best friend critiqued your every move, from how you load the dishwasher to how you manage your career. You'd probably start avoiding their calls, right? Sometimes your kids just want to talk to their mom or dad. They want to share a funny story, vent about a bad day, or just connect with you without it turning into a strategy session. When you're always in fix-it mode, you inadvertently shut down the simple human connection they crave. They become reluctant to share details about their life because they fear it will just open the door to a flood of unsolicited suggestions. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just listen. Simply offering empathy and support with phrases like "that sounds really tough" or "I'm here for you" can be far more valuable than a 10-point plan for how to solve their problem. So, what can we do about all this? It boils down to shifting your role from a director to a consultant. A consultant is an expert who is called upon when their advice is wanted. They don't barge in and take over. First, wait to be asked. This is the golden rule. It's hard, I know, but it's transformative. When they come to you for advice, they are open, receptive, and genuinely want to hear what you have to say. Let them take the lead. Second, practice active listening. When they talk, put your own agenda aside. Don't think about what you're going to say next. Just listen to understand. Ask clarifying questions. Reflect back what you hear. So it sounds like you're feeling really overwhelmed at work. This makes them feel seen and heard. Third, share your experience as a story, not a directive. Instead of saying, "you need to save more money," you could say, "I remember when I was your age, I was so stressed about finances. One thing that really helped me feel more in control was when I started." This is a much softer approach. You're offering your experience as a gift, not a command. They can take it or leave it, with no pressure. And finally, focus on the relationship, not on being right. At the end of the day, do you want to win the argument or do you want to have a close, loving relationship with your child? Prioritize connection over correction. Applaud their efforts, celebrate their successes, and be their soft place to land when they fail. Let them know that your love is unconditional and isn't dependent on them following your advice. When they feel that unconditional support, paradoxically, they'll be more likely to seek out your wisdom when they truly need it. Changing these lifelong dynamics takes time, patience, and a lot of self-awareness. There will be slip-ups, but every small step you take towards being a better listener and a trusted consultant will pay huge dividends in your relationship. You'll move from a place of frustration to a place of mutual respect and deeper connection. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has given you some valuable insights. If you found this helpful, Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on strengthening family bonds. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments what has worked for you. In communicating with your adult children, let's learn from each other. See you in the next video.